All right, all right. Welcome back to another episode of the Critics Collective. I am Legacy Lingo and I have Brandon V. Fletcher here with me, and we are going to discuss with you Widow's Bay, another Apple TV series that has recently come out. I think it started back on April 29th was when the first episode dropped. We have 5 episodes that have been released. We're going to give you the mid-season review. And again, this is a spoiler discussion. We're going to talk about it freely, talk about it in full. If you haven't watched it, go. Please, I implore you, go watch it and then come back, listen to us, and get in these comments because we're going to talk about it freely, and I'm excited to talk about it. Now,
Yeah, this also is one of those shows where like I feel like the community online, everybody's getting into their theories of like what's going on and all the interconnected stuff. So yeah, it should be should be one of those interesting shows to talk about.
Absolutely, and so you definitely need to watch before you get into this conversation. Now, the IMDb synopsis says that this show, if you're not familiar with what it's about, and you're still watching, I don't know why. A skeptical mayor leads the superstitious residents of a cursed New England island. Okay, all right. So we have 5 episodes now, and I'm not gonna lie, I was not so into watching this because I was worried it was going to be gory. Okay. And then when you let me know, like, no, it's not gory, but it's creepy, I was like, okay, I'm all in. And I jumped in and I'm so glad I did. So glad I did. This show it's a thriller, it's a horror, but it's also a very, very good comedy. And
Yeah.
yeah, and so you get that creepiness, but you're constantly laughing at these characters and their quirks and and the weirdness and their interaction, and it's so satisfying, so satisfying. Um, and then the mysteries and the weirdness of the island, it just keeps pulling you in. And I think this is a very concept for the beginning. At first, I thought it was a Stephen King based off Stephen King, but the writer actually is just inspired by all of the Stephen King lore based on his stories dealing with the that region out of New
Yeah,
England.
I mean, and you can kind of get those vibes throughout the show, right? Like
Right.
it has Stephen King's vibes, it has Twin Peaks vibes, right?
Yes.
It has that kind of like creepy, but also quirky, but also, like you said, also funny. There was even a shot, I want to say, is it episode 4, I believe. It was literally a shot of a Stephen King book, like in the show.
Yes. Yes. I did see that. I did see that.
And then
That was
the episode 4 was Patricia's episode, so that had big Carrie vibes to it too.
so so right now we're at the mid-season. This thing is slated for 10 episodes. So I'm happy to talk about where we are. One of the things that I've actually appreciated the most, especially starting with episode 1, uh was how they didn't waste time getting to I was worried we were going to get a whole lot of lore and mystery and things happen in the background, but nobody see anything, and we go a couple of episodes before something happens. And by the end of the first episode, we actually got that situation where that fisherman that was found, wakes up and grabs our character, the mayor. Let me get my list up here. What is his name? Tom Loftus.
Oh, Tom Loftess, yeah.
Right, the mayor. He actually grabs him, scares the shit out of him, and so I was like, oh damn, like I really thought we were gonna get 3 episodes before we got some hard evidence that this fog is a problem. That Buddy, our guy Wick is the character, Stephen Root, is telling you the island is awake. It's a problem. Get these tourists out of here. But the mayor's not listening. And so I thought it was going to take like 2 or 3 episodes. And then when we started getting some of that stuff early, I was like, oh, they're not wasting any time. Like,
Yeah, and I think part of it too is that like everybody in the town knows, but they just don't want to admit it, right? Like
yes,
they know, but like it won't be until things get completely insane when everybody comes to the conclusion, like, okay, all right, we got to admit this to ourselves. I mean, and that's essentially what the mayor's going through, right?
Yeah.
He knows all this stuff. He knows the lore. He knows the creepiness. He's just trying to pretend that everything's fine and nothing's going on. But I also love that by episode 3, he was just like, yeah, man, let's go ahead and take care of this. Like, they did not waste any time.
I mean, if he wasn't on board by then, I probably would have stopped watching. I'm not gonna lie. But at that point, episode 3, that was the inaugural swim, and you know he basically got scratched by the lady,
the
whatever, Sea Hag, and she's supposed to come sit on his face until he died.
Yeah. Also, that was wild because, you know, I'm not thinking that's what they mean by that. And then you see her struggling. She trying to get on top.
He's trying to get all the way up there. Yeah.
Oh, she really wanted some of that.
She was really gonna sit on the bed.
Like, oh, she really gonna smother him.
Right. And then he goes where he goes doesn't help his situation. He goes in the tub where it's even more convenient for her. I'm like, me and Jessica yell at TV like, what are you doing? That's just even better for her. And she's about to get in there, just like, I'm about to get it, you know.
Yeah, that was just like that shot when he was on the recliner. Like, man, that was wild.
and that's what I mean by how funny it is. Despite it being a horror / thriller, you know, they give you the creepy, but it's still so funny with these situations and these characters.
And then, like, I like to say this show is filled with some of my favorite character actors, right? They're not a lot of people in the show that's like been starring in movies, right? Except maybe, you know, Matthew Rhys, who plays the lead of Tom Loftess. But everybody else is like, I've seen her, I've seen him, I've seen it, and they're all just at the top of their game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially Stephen Root is like one of my favorite actors.
Yeah. No, he's
I love him, and so he's great as Wick. And it's easy to. I'm also glad that like he comes off as the, you know, the loon of the town. But it didn't last very long, right?
No. And I'm thankful for that, because that's another thing. Like, how long is Tom Loftess, the mayor, how long is he going to put this off? And I'm glad that he got to a point where he was like, okay, we got to put out a curfew. It's not safe out there. You know, we got to do what we got to do. And then we got a little, when in the most recent episode when he was tripping, we got a little insight on when his wife, they tried to go inland, and she's from the island. She was pregnant. They tried to go inland, and I was like, "Oh man!"
And they still didn't really show how she died.
They did,
because they just kind of showed her in a catatonic state.
They didn't,
and yeah, so I don't know if it goes from that to eventual death or something else happened, because we didn't get that whole full reveal yet.
Right. I mean, he said in some dialogue that she died during childbirth, so I assumed that was the beginning of the end, based on the dialogue he gave.
And I also think that's like, it's easy to say versus what actually happened.
True. Yeah, you don't want to give too many details, because then people are like, wait, what? Explain that. You know, yeah. You're right. So he could just be summing it up to just let it's in there. Don't ask, you shouldn't ask any more questions. He could be doing
right.
That. You're absolutely right.
And then there's definitely something up with people who are born on the island that try to leave, and this is why Tom hasn't let his son leave the island.
Because, like you said, he believes that stuff. He just doesn't want to admit it.
Right. But did they deliver the child on the boat, or did they turn it back around? I can't remember. I thought they turned it. Maybe they turned it around. If he was born on the boat,
it's clear.
Would that be a loophole?
I would, in my opinion, that would be a loophole, and maybe that's where the story is gonna go eventually. That he gets off the island, but the island's pissed about that loophole or something, and maybe that shit starts going inland. That's how I would write it. How you guys, if you're listening, hire me. I'm available. So anyway, but each episode, I truly appreciate it. The first episode, you know, we got to understand the island, and he was trying to get the writer to really drum something up so they can get more tourists, and he was successful despite the fact that he ended up looking crazy. And then
I didn't think it was gonna work.
I didn't.
I thought it was
I didn't
gonna
think it
be
was gonna
like
work either.
no, nobody like your little Weird Island, but no, people actually came out.
People actually came out. He wrote it up. People actually are coming out. There are a lot of tourists. But the second episode, Lodging is the name of it. Wick tried Wick tried
that episode,
to
man.
stop people from going to the inn. He tried to board it up. And I was really confused at why the owner was mad at him. I get it. He wants to make some money, but yet he knows Wick wasn't lying. He wouldn't stay there himself. And he didn't want to go into that captain's suite. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
they were like, go in the room.
Go there. They gave him 10 seconds, and he was like, I thought you said 10 seconds. I was like, it was. How long did you think he was in there?
Well, I think maybe time flows different on the island. And it might, I think there's like a bunch of little tiny little, like, time dilations going on the island.
Yeah, because he definitely thought he was in there more than 10 seconds. And then when they left him in there for 60 seconds, he had tore that room up. Like that room was tore up like he was in there for a long ass time, but they didn't really fully address it.
So that's one of my theories.
Okay. Yeah.
Time dilation. Being in that room is, you feel like you're in there longer than it actually is.
Well, it was very rewarding. The guy that he ended up hanging out with, the mayor, and then they watched the footage back and he wasn't there. He doing all the stuff on the checklist, and he got met up by the clown at the end. All of it.
Oh God, that clown! That was. I knew it was coming, but still.
It was still very creepy, right? But you knew it was coming, but it was still very creepy. That's what I love about the show. I think they do a good job of still giving you, even when you see something's coming, you see it, and it's just like they do a good job of creepy and funny. Which brings me to that fourth episode. They call it,
which I think is the standout episode of the season.
I'm telling you, when she got that book and she was trying to be the host of the party, when we got the twists and turns, it threw me for a loop. When she was reading that book and trying to be the best person, and then at some point you thought this is not going to work because they just hate her. They came out that they thought that she was taking advantage of people who were victimized by that certain situation, and she said that boogeyman or whatever never got her, and everybody's like, stop. We really lost real people, and you're trying to pretend like you were in a situation. You're trying to benefit from it, get attention, and they were mad at her. And I was like, damn, no wonder they treat her like shit. So at first I kind of was like, well, I get it. And then I thought the party was not going to be successful at all. And all of a sudden they're having the best time. She's doing the
rhythm of the night.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Reebok of the night.
That punch is really working. But then when you see her talking, and then you see the reflection in the mirror, and everybody's like,
yeah. They were giving you flashes of that when she was dancing. She's dancing, the camera's like moving around, and they're doing like these wipes.
I'd be editing and watching at the same time.
So they were doing this shot that was like circling around her, and then every time the camera like passed like someone's back or something, it would switch to the people at the party with their mouths open, and then the camera would keep moving, and then it switched to everybody like dancing and stuff. So they were hinting at that, and then you finally saw it with the mirror reveal.
The mirror reveal is when I saw it. I was like, what is wrong with everybody? I was like, oh shit. And it did such a good job because it got to the point, like, we still didn't fully know until the sheriff showed up.
Yeah, and I love that this episode was a kind of a flashback, right? Like, it was an alternate view of, this was happening while Tom and
Sea Hag.
Wick was like dealing with the Sea Hag.
Right.
And so we kind of went backwards a little bit to see how we got up to the point where they were meeting together. So basically they both ended up having these like supernatural experiences. And then they were basically like, all right, we got to come together.
And I love that they did it that way, because it's showing you that the island is ramping it up. It's not slowly but surely. Like, you had this crazy event at the same time I had this crazy event. The island is ramping it up. Like, it's a problem. It's a problem. And I love that, because she left that when he got home in episode 3 and he checked his voicemail, and she was like, are you not coming or what? And I was like, what is she talking about? Like, what did I miss? I thought I missed something. And then we get to the 4th episode, and she was like, this party is happening. Are you coming or what? And I was like, okay. This is all happened simultaneously. It's good. All right. And the way that she got out of it, I thought she was going to take more damage when she burned that book, but it's fine. She did. It's cool. But I like the way it all played out. I love the way it all played out. But then it leads to episode 5 where the mayor is investigating the father's death, or the pastor's death, is hanging, and they go to that spot and they buy drugs from that guy. That scene, everything interacting with him made me laugh so much.
Yeah.
That guy was so weird, and they were even weird dealing with him. And then
what's his name? Chris Fleming is a comedian.
He played that part perfect.
Yeah, he was hilarious. 2 things that was funny about that. One, him just thinking that Tom the mayor was Wick.
Yeah.
I was like, aren't you Wick? And it was like, Tom is already drinking the juice out of the mug.
Right.
And he's like, I just drank it. He's like, oh, no, it's fine, man. Only if you just sipped it. And he was like, I just downed the whole thing.
And he was like, oh, yeah, that's going to be a problem.
Then it was like, oh, it's going to last about 12 hours. He's like, 12 hours? He's just like, look, man, you good. You got this. And still was calling him Wick.
Yeah, the whole time.
And then he was like, you got this. As long as you don't look in the mirror. Then he closed the door, and it was a mirror on the back of the door.
It's comedic gold, man. It makes me laugh so much. Ruth's character is funny as hell.
Matt Reese, like, he plays the mayor so well. He's hilarious. I honestly, I've never seen The Americans, so like, as an actor, I don't have the full, experience of him. Like, I know he was Perry Mason on HBO. Supporting roles, other movies and TV shows. So this is kind of me fully experiencing his like comedic chops, basically.
Yeah, the comedic chops never come out. And it's even more impressive for me because the last thing I just watched him on was called The Beast in Me on Netflix original series. That aired like it came out like February or something like that, and we binged it. It's a pretty good series. It's got anyway, it's not important. Anyway, but I gotta say that I have it. So it's got Claire Danes. Him and Claire Danes play opposite of each other, and it's like a murder mystery suspense thing. So this comedic version of him, for me, that's like my full-time really fully seeing it as well. And it's great. He's doing a great job as the mayor. Everybody's playing their parts well. Patricia is very quirky. Ruth.
Oh yeah, I love everybody.
All the characters are great, and they're all funny.
Yeah,
and they're all funny. But I'm not a fan, as you are not, of Evan the son.
Yeah,
and he's slated for all the episodes. So
I pray to the God of Hollywood, can we stop making shithead teenagers, please, for love of God?
Just be more creative if you want to create some drama. Like, I will give you a perfect example of what was decent, what was great writing for his character. When the sheriff caught him trying to go into the house to impress the girls, he was glad that he didn't have to fully go through with it. And then he went over to the sheriff and he was being real with him. He was like, I'm sorry, man. I was trying to impress the girls. He was like, hey, can I say fuck you, pig, when I leave? And he was like, no, you can't. He's like, okay, cool. Like that kind of personality, knowing like, hey, I know I'm pushing it because I'm trying to impress these ladies. I know I'm full of shit. I like that. But when he's fighting his dad, who is not giving him shit, is just asking him to please just be more responsible. Just think more. Just communicate with me. And I keep giving you rope. And it's the characters is unnecessarily given so much pushback. I don't feel like it's warranted. It's not like your friends and neighbors situation where Tori is giving her mom pushback because her mom is a hypocrite. Right? This is different. And I just don't understand where this is coming.
Yeah, and I'm curious to like find out if there's something we're not being told, right? As far as their relationship, right? maybe there's some resentment of, maybe he knows that, like, maybe he's just some resentment because he thinks he caused his mom's death or something. Like, I don't know.
Hopefully that'll come out because I'm a little annoyed.
But right now, it just feels like teen angst for the sake of teen angst, and it's just, I hate you, Dad. I can't do what I want, and I'm just like, I need more than that.
I need
and so far as for me, it was basically a perfect series. That's like my only complaint. But that's also, I know that's specifically a me thing because it's like, we've been watching these TV shows almost half a century at this point.
I'm telling you,
it's just something that drives me crazy that I need a break from.
It's an easy out. It's a scapegoat. We could be more creative to create drama if you try. Mm-hmm. Your kids don't have to be ridiculously, upset, stupid, make poor decisions, or force problems, or just want to just have an attitude for no reason. It's like, come on, man.
Why can't everybody just be like the daughter on Castles? Just be like Castle's daughter. She was amazing. Great student, responsible. Maybe some hiccups here and there, but never doing anything ridiculous.
Yeah, beat your kids. But anyway, so, so now we're at episode 5. The mayor is tripping on the stuff for 12 hours. And every time he goes out, he comes back, there's a scenario. And what we don't know is how real the scenario is, or if it's not. I feel like it's real. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of backlash. I feel like we're about to start ramping it up. And I also feel like the way it ended, it didn't give us closure. He didn't finish the trip.
Right. I kind of screamed at the TV because I was like, oh no, it's about to end and I wanted more.
Right. I wanted more.
I was just like, no, but we get 2 episodes next week. So
2 episodes.
I think we're gonna be able to scratch that itch. They're gonna give us more. Hopefully the end of the 2 episodes doesn't end too crazy where it gives that itch again. We're like right back where we started. But this episode might have had, episode 5, maybe some of the biggest lore and world building, probably, because it starts with a flashback, which I assume was like way back when they first got to the island.
Yeah.
And then we're getting history about the founder of the island, and the writings that they found they found at the priest and like his belongings, right?
Right.
So they're analyzing this. They're going to the town's historian. Forgot her name, but they went to her and she's reading it, and they're trying to like kind of piece all this stuff together, like see what all these things mean.
But I'm sorry, I got to go back to the situation where they first met the drug dealer. He said when Buddy was on those shrooms, he had some kind of deep moment of awakening, and he drew something, and they showed it to him. It looked like just a hand, and he was like, "You don't just come up with that shit." And then the mayor was doing it when they were at
because this thing was hilarious.
Pull it up, please, because then the mayor was drawing it too when they had him on a leash at the historical building, and I was like, man, the way he talked about it, like, oh yeah, he was just really in tune, and he just drew something. You don't just come up with this shit. It was just like, I was like, this shit was
and they played that so well because I truly thought we were about to get these ancient looking cryptic drawings, and it was like a drawing of a hand that you make in elementary school,
right? Like you're doing a turkey.
When you try to make a turkey, you just put your hand down. You stretch your hand.
Exactly. That's exactly what it looked like. Like somebody just outlined it.
But like the funny part is that Tom actually drew it later.
Yeah, he was sitting there. He came back and he realized you saw it.
It's a funny bit, but at the same time, it could be real.
I do think it's going to tie in somehow, but it looks like a hand to us, but it's going to be something a lot more epic later. that just resembles that outline. And at least I'm hoping that's how I would write it anyway. I feel like we are gonna get to see it, and then it's gonna be like, oh shit, that makes sense. But the way they're drawing it, it just looks like a hand. And oh man, I can't wait.
I found it.
Did you find it?
Yes, this is hilarious.
Let's see this. Pull it up, pull it up.
Oh. Let me share this. I mean, look at this. I did not expect this.
I'm
And I was
telling you.
cracking up.
He made this. I thought we were gonna see all kinds of symbols, some like you said, some ancient stuff. And the guy was selling us on it. And then this was the picture we get, and I'm like, what the hell? And then we, like you said, Tom Loftess was the mayor. He was drawing it again later. And I do think whatever we finally tied into something, it's gonna make sense. It's not gonna be anywhere as simple as that, but it's gonna be. Oh my goodness.
And some people were saying that, I saw somebody say like the comedy on the show is like really good, and said that sometimes it reminded them of Parks and Rec. And I saw someone say one of the writers on the show was a writer from Parks and Rec. So I was like, there you go.
That track, especially with the character Ruth. She's like, Ruth, I'm gonna need you all day. She's like, that's fine. I just gotta leave by 3. He's like,
Also,
no, I need you all day.
I saw somebody had a theory that like Ruth might be on to some shenanigans.
You think so?
She might be part of the island mystery or craziness, or that's why she got to leave at 3.
Surprised if the island if people understand that they have to help the island see this through in order to get past it. I would not be surprised if that was part of this thing, whereas some people understand if we don't help the island do what it needs to do, we're gonna all be fucked. So I am a part of the shenanigans to make sure.
It's like the island needs some kind of like periodic sacrifice, right?
Right, and it needs to be satisfied so it can go to sleep again.
Right, and I'm wondering if, remember now those people was holed up in the church and then started eating each other. I'm wondering if that was a moment of them giving a sacrifice to the island, or if that was a moment where they didn't, and then that happened.
That was the outcome.
Right.
Let's go. I was thinking,
and I wonder how many of these events throughout history are because
they didn't
give into the island.
Ooh. Yeah.
And maybe this time it might be the first time where it's like, give the island what it wants. Right. Maybe it won't bother us for like 100 years.
And then
we'll put it down in the book for the next mayor. It's like, when stuff pop off, this is what you got to do.
I love that theory. Oh man, I hope to God you're right. I hope to God you're right. I love it. Man.
I mean, the priest kind of had it right. Like, he basically, like, the bell was tolling and the bell is chained up, and then he had that note basically like, hey, the bell started tolling, thumbs up, and then he saw it. He's like, well, all right, man, I'm out.
Yep.
Like,
yeah. So I believe these next 2 episodes. Oof. I can't wait. Let me see what day they come on.
I definitely think we're gonna get. I think we're gonna get a flashback. I think we're gonna get a flashback to the founder, and we're gonna get more information on that, because I feel like that's why they gave us so much of that information in the previous episode, and they showed the founder at the beginning grabbing the mushrooms. Also, I saw someone mention this in the credits. The founder, Richard Warren, is played by Hamish Linklater, who, if anybody watched Midnight Mass, he was the lead in that. So it appears he's going to be playing the founder in this series. I didn't even recognize him, but like the way it was shot, like you couldn't see who it was. He had like long hair, and he was like grabbing the mushrooms and like all this other stuff. But I think by having that and then the lore drop in the middle of the episode, I think we're leading to a flashback, and we're gonna.
I think you're right.
6 is going to be the flashback, and episode 7 is going to be more of the plot.
No, you're spot on, because the episode 6 title is Our History, and then episode 7 gets back to see the creepy titles. So yeah. So I think you're spot on with that, which I'm glad. Let's get that, and then let's move on to get right back to the arc. Yeah, I love it. I'm excited. And then it looks like every week after that is just one episode until we hit the finale on the 17th. So this is Wednesday night on Apple TV. Or Wednesday on Apple TV. It's available, and we got 5 episodes now, mid-season review. So get in the comments, you guys. Let us know who's your favorite characters. How much are you enjoying the comedy? How much are you enjoying the horror and thriller? Are you like the way it's being executed, or if you're not liking it, let us know. Also let us know.
I want to hear everybody's theories. I want to know those.
Drop those theories for sure. And also let us know what your favorite episode is. What's yours right now, Brandon? What's your favorite?
Oh, it's episode 4.
Episode 4.
I love Patricia. Like, she's like one of my favorite characters, and I was rooting for her in that episode. That's why it hurt me when I realized what
turn things around.
It's like also I'm like I forgot what show I was watching for it. I was like, well, of course everything went bad.
Right, and then I'm like, that tracks. Why did I see this shit coming? You're right, and that's the same for me. Like, oh man, I was really rooting for her. Like, oh, she about to be the talk of the town, But then, yeah, favorite. That is favorite episode. So episode 4 for us. So let us know what your favorite episode is, and again, your theories, everything. Let's go ahead and talk about it. And then going forward, we will talk about each episode individually, because I don't want to wait. I realized, I don't want to wait. I feel like after we get 6 and 7 this Wednesday, we definitely need to talk about it. I feel like, so we're just gonna every week that we get something, we're gonna continue to discuss it. And if you like what we're doing here, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the alerts, join the collective community. I'm Legacy Lingo. We got Brandon V. Fletcher here, and we have just discussed with you Widow's Bay on Apple TV. All right, we are the Critics Collective, and we will see you guys on the next one.